She Who Roared for Mercy Chapter 2, The Creature Beneath Lake Michigan. The water continued rising. For several seconds, Chicago seemed to hold its breath. The enormous creature beneath Lake Michigan had not fully emerged, but its presence was undeniable. Waves rolled outward from the center of the lake. Boats were pushed backward. Water crashed against the shoreline. People began evacuating the area as emergency sirens echoed through the city. Military aircraft moved into position. Soldiers prepared their weapons. And standing between them and She Who Roared for Mercy was B.J. Mayfield. He looked toward the lake. Then he looked up at her. "Please don't move." She remained still. B.J. could feel the enormous tension in her body. She was afraid. Not of the creature beneath the water. Not even of the military. She was afraid that someone would make a decision that could not be undone. B.J. closed his eyes for a moment. He remembered the words of Proverbs chapter 15 verse 1. "A soft answer turneth away wrath." He knew this was no ordinary conversation. Thousands of people were watching. Military commanders were making decisions. An enormous creature was rising from Lake Michigan. And another enormous creature was asking him not to destroy it. B.J. opened his eyes. "Everybody needs to calm down." A soldier looked at him. "Sir, that thing in the lake is approaching the shoreline." "I know." "Then move." B.J. shook his head. "Not yet." The soldier stared at him. "Why?" B.J. looked toward the lake. "Because we still don't know why it's here." The water suddenly exploded upward. A massive head emerged. People screamed. The creature was unlike She Who Roared for Mercy. Its body appeared heavily armored, almost as though it had been created by nature to withstand enormous pressure beneath the deepest waters. Its eyes were dark. Its movements were slow. But there was something about its expression that B.J. immediately recognized. Fear. The creature roared. The sound shook the buildings along the shoreline. She Who Roared for Mercy answered. The two enormous creatures stared at one another. The military prepared to fire. B.J. raised both hands. "Wait." Nobody listened. He turned toward the military commander. "If you fire first, you may start something you cannot stop." The commander answered. "We cannot allow that creature to enter the city." B.J. nodded. "I agree." The commander seemed surprised. "Then you agree with us?" "No." B.J. pointed toward the lake. "I agree that we need to protect Chicago." Then he looked back at She Who Roared for Mercy. "But protecting Chicago does not automatically mean destroying everything we don't understand." The commander said nothing. B.J. continued. "We need information before we make a decision." She Who Roared for Mercy suddenly stepped forward. The ground shook. People screamed again. Weapons were raised. B.J. turned toward her. "Stop." She stopped. Her enormous head lowered. B.J. looked into her eyes. "What are you trying to tell me?" She roared. The sound was enormous. But B.J. heard the words hidden inside it. "He followed me." B.J. looked toward the creature in the lake. "Why?" She answered. "He believes I am the enemy." B.J. looked at her. "Are you?" She became completely still. Then she slowly shook her enormous head. "No." B.J. nodded. "I believe you." Then he looked toward the creature beneath the lake. "But what about him?" She looked toward the water. "He does not understand me." B.J. sighed. "Then maybe that's where we begin." B.J. stepped forward. The military commander grabbed his arm. "Where are you going?" "To talk." "To that thing?" B.J. nodded. "Yes." You can't communicate with it. BJ looked at him. Neither could anyone communicate with her. He pointed toward she who roared for mercy. Until somebody listened. The commander hesitated. BJ continued walking. Every step felt insignificant compared to the enormous creatures surrounding him. Yet he continued. He was not fearless. He was simply refusing to allow fear to make his decisions for him. BJ reached the shoreline. The enormous creature watched him. BJ raised his voice. I don't know if you can understand me. The creature remained still. I don't know why you came here. Still nothing. I don't know why you're angry. The creature slowly lowered its head. BJ took another step. But I do know something. He looked directly into its eyes. Nobody here knows your story. The creature blinked. BJ continued. And nobody should decide your fate before hearing it. The creature released a deep rumble. BJ listened. His expression changed. You came because she escaped. She who roared for mercy looked toward BJ. The creature beneath the lake roared again. BJ listened carefully. Then he spoke. You believe she abandoned you. She who roared for mercy lowered her head. BJ looked at her. Is that true? She answered with a low roar. No. BJ looked back toward the creature in the lake. She says she didn't abandon you. The enormous creature became agitated. Water surged around its body. BJ raised his voice. Wait, please. The creature stopped. BJ listened again. Then he understood. You think she betrayed you. She who roared for mercy closed her eyes. BJ looked at her. Did you? She answered. No. BJ took a deep breath. Then tell me what happened. She lowered her head. Her roar was quiet this time. Almost sorrowful. BJ listened. And what he heard surprised him. I left because I was protecting him. BJ looked toward the creature beneath the lake. She didn't abandon you. The creature remained silent. BJ continued. She says something was hunting both of you. She who roared for mercy roared. BJ listened. Something worse. The military commander stepped closer. What does she mean? BJ looked toward him. I don't know yet. Then another sound came from beneath the lake. Not a roar. A vibration. BJ felt it through the ground. She who roared for mercy immediately became alert. The creature in the lake turned toward the horizon. BJ looked from one creature to the other. What is that? She answered. They found us. BJ's heart sank. Who? She looked toward the sky. BJ followed her gaze. At first, he saw nothing. Then the clouds began moving. Not naturally. Something enormous was approaching above them. The military aircraft scattered. Radar systems began reporting multiple unknown objects. The city emergency network erupted with warnings. BJ stared upward. He realized something. The creatures were not invading Chicago. They were running from something. And whatever they were running from had just arrived. She who roared for mercy stepped between BJ and the lake. BJ looked up at her. What are you doing? She roared. I will protect you. BJ shook his head. No. She looked down. BJ continued. We will protect each other. Then he pointed toward the city he loved. There are millions of people here. She looked toward Chicago. Then toward the approaching threat. BJ spoke softly. If you truly want peace, we have to protect everyone. She became still. Then she lowered her enormous head. BJ placed his hand against her scales. We don't know what is coming. He looked toward the sky. But we're going to face it without becoming what we fear. She remained beside him. The creature beneath Lake Michigan slowly moved closer to the shoreline. For the first time, the two enormous creatures stood together. Not as enemies. Not as conquerors. But as two frightened beings who had finally found someone willing to listen. BJ looked toward the military commander. You still want to know what they want? The commander nodded. Yes. BJ looked toward the darkening sky. So do I. A massive shadow passed over Chicago. The daylight disappeared. People looked upward. And BJ finally understood why she who roared for mercy had been so desperate. The creatures beneath Lake Michigan were not the beginning of the problem. They were running from it. BJ whispered, Lord, give me wisdom. Then he looked toward the sky. Something enormous descended through the clouds. And for the first time, she who roared for mercy did not roar for mercy. She roared a warning. Run. And Chicago began to run.